Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to Children's Church. Today we continue our study of Jesus the Messiah. First, we learned about Jesus' family and how King David and many other names that we would recognize are part of Jesus' family. Then we also learned about the birth of Jesus, and then last week about when Jesus was taken to the temple to be dedicated. We heard about Simeon and Anna and how they recognized that Jesus was the Messiah. Today's story moves to when Jesus was 12 years old, and he went with his mother Mary and Joseph to the temple in Jerusalem to celebrate Passover. There was a large crowd gathered that went together, and when they were returning home after Passover, they thought that Jesus was with them. But it turned out that after a day's journey, they couldn't find Jesus anywhere. Can you imagine not knowing where Jesus was? They were pretty terrified. They headed back to Jerusalem immediately and began searching everywhere. They found him in the temple, speaking with all the teachers, and they could not believe how much wisdom Jesus had. Jesus knew his purpose even when he was 12 years old. And when Mary asked him, "Jesus, why did you do this?" he said, "Didn't you know I had to be in my Father's house?" So it's interesting that even at the age of 12, Jesus understood his mission. Now let's let Megan and Jesse tell us about today's story.
Hey, it's me, Megan, and this is Jesse. Jesse.
Jesse, oh, hi. Hey Megan, can you help me? I can't find Maya.
Who is Maya?
Maya is my new pet mouse.
I'm sorry, your pet what?
Mouse! Maya the mouse.
Why did you get a mouse for a pet?
Megan, Maya is so cute and cuddly. I can't wait for you to meet her.
Great.
Oh, I know where Maya is. She's at my house. In her cage. I forgot.
Oh well, guess I'll just have to meet Maya another time.
Yep. I'm so glad she isn't lost.
Hey, you know what? In today's Bible story, Mary and Joseph thought they had lost Jesus, but he wasn't lost at all. Listen to the Bible story to find out where Jesus was when Mary and Joseph found him. After Jesus was born, wise men came to Bethlehem to worship him as king. When they left, an angel told Joseph in a dream to leave Bethlehem because King Herod wanted to hurt Jesus. So Mary, Joseph, and Jesus went to Egypt until Herod died. They went back to Israel and lived in Nazareth. Jesus grew up in Nazareth. Every year, Jesus' parents took a trip to Jerusalem for a special celebration called Passover. On Passover, the Jewish people got together to remember when God saved his people from slavery in Egypt. They celebrated all the things God had done for them. When Jesus was 12 years old, he went with Mary and Joseph to Jerusalem. After the celebration, Mary and Joseph started to go home. They traveled with a large group of people, but Jesus was not with them. Mary and Joseph thought that Jesus was somewhere in the group, but he had stayed behind in Jerusalem. Mary and Joseph walked for a whole day. Then they started looking for Jesus. They searched among their friends and family, but they could not find Jesus anywhere. Mary and Joseph hurried back to Jerusalem. They looked for Jesus, but they could not find him. Jerusalem was a big city, and Jesus was just a boy. Finally, Mary and Joseph found him in the temple. Jesus was listening to the teachers and asking them questions. The people were surprised at how much Jesus understood. Jesus' parents were surprised too. Mary said, "Son, why have you done this? Your father and I were worried. We've been looking everywhere for you." Jesus asked, "Why were you looking for me? Didn't you know that I had to be in my Father's house?" Mary and Joseph did not understand what Jesus was talking about. Jesus went home with Mary and Joseph. He always obeyed them, and Mary remembered these things. Jesus grew taller and wiser. God was happy with him, and so was everyone who knew him. Jesus came to earth to do God's plan, and even as a boy, Jesus knew that. Jesus got ready to do what God sent him to do. God sent Jesus into the world to die on the cross and rescue people from sin.
All right, boys and girls, I want to see how well you were listening. I have a few review questions for you. Question number 1. Why did Jesus' family travel to Jerusalem? Good. For a special celebration called Passover. Question number 2. How old was Jesus in today's Bible story? That's right. He was 12 years old, just a young child. Number 3. What did Mary and Joseph realize when they were on their way home back to Nazareth? Yes, they realized Jesus was not with them. They couldn't find Jesus anywhere. Next. Number 4. Where did Mary and Joseph find Jesus? Good. He was in the temple. Number 5. Why did Jesus stay at the temple? Good. He wanted to listen to the teachers, and he himself asked questions, and he wanted to be in his Father's house. Now for our big picture question. Is Jesus God or a human? That's right. We've learned for several weeks that Jesus is fully God and fully human. Thank you for listening to today's Bible story. Boys and girls, you're going to be receiving something in the mail in just a couple of days, and it looks like this. It's a scavenger hunt. Since Mary and Joseph were looking for Jesus, I thought it would be fun for us to have something to look for also. It's a scavenger hunt with 10 items for you to find with your family. And when you check mark that you found each item, you may have your parents take a picture of the scavenger hunt and text it to me, and then I will send you a small prize. Or you can just mail this back to me to let me know that you finished it. If you want to read more about today's story, boys and girls, it's found in 2 books of the Bible, Matthew chapter 2 and Luke chapter 2. I hope you have a wonderful week.